Hi, it's Peter Gregg, Miami, Florida. I'm in Peter's kitchen. We're going to make a brisket today. So I have already cut the brisket in half, and I made the first half, and it's called version 1. Now I'm making the second half, and I'm calling it version 2 because I'm making this one differently. The Instant Pot is all about seasoning your meat. It's going to cook everything you put in there. It's hot, it's steamy, it's pressurized, and it's going to cook it, okay? So the battle, or the video game in this particular case, is really about getting the flavor into the meat. Once you get that in your head, you're going to be able to start experimenting.
Sit back, relax. You are about to watch a Peter Gregg video. Something warm, human, and wonderful happens when you watch Peter Gregg.
So what I did is I took my favorite barbecue sauce, nothing special, nothing unique. This one is Sweet Baby Ray's honey barbecue sauce. The spice level is not super high. The sweet level is a little on the high side, which is what I like. Now, I'm going to get the other half of the brisket, which is right here. I'm going to put it on the cutting board. I'm going to rinse my fingers, wash it in a little bit of soap, dry it, dry my hands, because we don't want to cross-contaminate. I actually should get one of the nose pickers. Okay, so yeah, I know. This is not a nose picker, but it sure looks like one. Okay, so I'm going to season this. I'm going to turn it over on the bottom side, which is the side that doesn't have the fat. The brisket has fat, a lot of it, a lot of fat on one side, and it's very lean on the other, but you can see the marbling. So I'm putting on a nice layer of garlic salt. I'm not closing it because I'm going to flip it over. And I'm also going to put on a nice layer of onion. And this is minced onion, minced onion, okay? So let me see if I can show that to you. There we go. You can see what I'm doing. I'm putting the minced onion on there, and I am tempted to smack it down with my fingers, but I'm not. And then I'm going to flip it over, and the side is going to get the same treatment. Nice, heavy, thick garlic salt, and also nice, heavy, thick minced onions. Plenty. Many times if I have raw onions here, I'll just cut the whole raw onion and put it up into the Instant Pot. Okay, so let's get back over to me real quick. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this and put it in the Instant Pot. So this is the barbecue sauce. So I used 1 cup, 1 full overflowing cup of the barbecue sauce, and then I put some water in there, and now I mixed it up. Now, when you go to mix it up, do a good job, okay? Get like the whisk, actually take the trivet out. Let me show you. I actually take the trivet out and mix it so that the barbecue sauce is kind of thick. So mix it well. Just, you don't need to skimp on the stirring, is, you know, an extra 15-20 seconds, because this is how you're going to flavor the meat. Now I'm going to open the trivet like that because I want to take this out in one piece. And then I'm going to take the meat and I'm going to put it right here. Okay? Hey, it's Peter Gregg, Miami, Florida. I have a beautiful new Christmas CD that I have made just for you. It's got 10 wonderful songs in there, including What Child Is This? Jingle Bells. Jingle Bells. And the 12 Days of Peter. I mean, make that the 12 Days of Christmas. All right, the link is in the description below. You can order yours today. Do it now. Now, I'm going to get a glass of water, and I'm going to start filling up so that it covers, I would say, 75% of the brisket. So this is not rocket science. Let's pour it in here. I don't want to wash. Okay, so see how it's like, it's starting to touch the fatty area. So I don't want to submerge it. I actually want to do, it's called like braising. So that's all we got. Now I happen to like my brisket with a pretty heavy onion taste to it. So I'm going to put in some more of the minced onion flakes, which is what I've got here. It's McCormick minced onion flakes. Then I'm going to close the top. Okay, we're plugged in and we're ready to go. So where are we going? All right, I'm going to turn this on and I'm going to push the pressure cook button. On your pressure cooker, electric pressure cooker, you might have to use the manual, but whatever it is, we want 1 hour and 30 minutes, which is 90 minutes, okay? So in this one, which is the Instant Pot Pro, which I highly recommend. I'll put a link to that in the description below, where you can see which one it is. Now I'm gonna roll this all the way up to 1 hour and 30 minutes, and I'm almost there. Take it easy, take it easy. Okay, 1 hour and 30 minutes. All right, let me take a picture of that for you so you can see exactly what I did, how I did it. And there's 1 hour and 30 minutes. Let's see if the picture came out. Okay, I got the shot. So we're gonna do it on pressure cooker, 1 hour and 30 minutes, and I'm gonna press start. So your pressure cooker should work very similarly. Again, I said before, I'll say it again. Pressure cooking is all about seasoning the meat because it's going to cook it. The pressure is going to go up and it's going to steam it. It's going to cook it any which way you want. Chicken, no matter what it is, it actually gets cooked in there. So we're using barbecue sauce and nothing else. Well, water. Okay, so that's what we've got going on, and I'll be back after 1 hour and 30 minutes, and actually longer, because I'm going to do a natural release. A natural release is when you just let it cool off all by itself. You don't interfere, you don't release the nozzle, you don't do anything to that type of interference in the pressure. A quick release is when it's finished, you let the steam out. All right, so here's the thing. I watched some videos because I couldn't make a nice brisket. The brisket comes out good. It fall apart tender, but for some reason it's not juicy at all. So when I did some investigation, I found one particular gentleman at Pressure Luck, okay, say that five times fast, and he cooks it, then he cuts it, he lets it cool, he cuts it, then he puts it back in and lets it soak for 30 to 40 minutes. And that changes everything. If you actually look at making a brisket like on a slow cooker, it's usually 12 hours. And then you let it cool off after that and let it rest for another hour or two. And then when you cut it, it's juicy and tender. So when I just pressure cook this now, it's going to come out very tender, but when you chew it, you just keep on chewing it. It's tough to chew it, but the meat isn't tough. I don't know how I can explain that. All right, so we're going to make up for that soaking time we're going to let it cook for 90 minutes. We're going to let it do a natural release. After the natural release, I'm going to take it out, put it in a plate. I'm going to put it in the freezer for about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm just trying to cool it down. So the freezer is the fastest way to do that. And after it's cooled down a bit, then I'm going to take a knife, I'm going to slice it up, then I'm going to take those slicers, they're going to go back in the Instant Pot, but I'm not going to turn it on again. I'm just going to let it soak 30 minutes or longer. You want to let it soak for an hour? Fine. But that is what's going to make the brisket rehydrate and make it amazingly juicy. Actually, the real truth is, if you want the best brisket, you make it the day before. You let it rest in the juices in the refrigerator all night long, then you take it out the next day and you warm it up. All right, I'll see you when I can open this top again and we'll take it from there. Hey, it's Peter Gregg, Miami, Florida. You want to hear a really pretty Christmas CD? Well, I just happened to have made one. They all just came here. You can click in the description below and order yours now. I sang songs like, What Child Is This? Is Christ. Jingle Bells. Jingle bells, jingle bells. And of course, the 12 Days of Peter. I mean the 12 Days of Christmas. The link is in the description below. Order yours now. Silent night. Oh, you're there. I'm sorry. I'm waiting for the pin to drop. It's been 48 minutes after the cooking stopped. So I cooked it for an hour and 30 minutes. That's 90 minutes for all the Peters in the room that can add, all right? And I'm doing a natural release, meaning I'm not pushing, I want to, the little handle there. So this is version 2, which means we are seasoning the brisket differently. I put a whole cup full of my favorite barbecue sauce in there and filled the rest up with water. Okay, so you just saw that, so you know what's going on. Up, the pin went down. Okay, so let's change cameras so we can look in here. What is going on? Where is that camera? So let's open this top. Be careful, it's hot. Hot, H-O-T, hot. So put the liquid in there. Okay, and the trivet should be able to be touched. If it can't, get yourself some pot holders. Don't burneth yourself. It's quite warm, so I'm going to take this out and bring it over to the cutting board. And now that I brought it over to the cutting board, I'm going to move it towards the back. I want to do a really quick cool down now. I want to do a really quick cool down because if I go to cut it now, it's going to fall apart. Actually, if I just pick it up, it's going to fall apart. So now I got it on the plate. All right, so now I'm going to take this plate. Boy, it shrunk a lot, didn't it? I'm going to put it in the freezer for 20 minutes. I'm not trying to freeze it. I just want to cool it down because if I go to cut this now, woof, it's going to fall apart. I mean, it is, I could basically pick it apart with my finger. So let's put this in the freezer for about 20 minutes just to cool it down so it'll cut and not fall apart. Be right back. Hey, it's Peter Gregg, Miami, Florida. I have a beautiful new Christmas CD that I have made just for you. It's got 10 wonderful songs in there, including What Child Is This? Jingle Bells. And the 12 Days of Peter. I mean, make that the 12 Days of Christmas. All right, the link is in the description below. You can order yours today. Do it now. Okay, I'm getting this out of the freezer. Here, this is what it looks like. Now I'm going to cut it up into slices, and then I'm going to put it back in the pot. I'm going to put it back in pot. Okay, let's see. Well, it's cool. Not frozen cool, but cool. I can actually pick it up without burning myself. And I'm going to put it back on the trivet. And the reason I'm going to put it back on the trivet is so I can get it back out. I'm going to get it in there. I won't be able to get it out. Okay, so you're going to get a very sharp knife. You want to see how sharp the knife is? Ow! It's very sharp. All right, so I'm going to cut this across the grain. And another thing I'm going to do, when I cut this, I'm not going to saw it because that will just take it apart. I'm going to do long strokes, long strokes, long strokes. Okay, so I'm going to get down in here. I'm cutting through the fat. I left the fat on. I didn't take the fat off. Actually, now I can, that's a good idea. I'm going to cut that layer of fat right off. There we go. Now we're right down to the meat. See, it stayed together. Yes, we stayed together. There we go. Okay, now the object is here not to cut your finger. So don't be making a video while you're slicing your brisket. So it's coming, it slices right through it. But I've got my thumb very close to where the blade is going, which is not a good idea. Let's do this taste test. This is a little piece that broke off. Let's see how long I have to chew this before it'll go down. Very, very tender, but very dry. Okay, so I'm going to pick this up, and it's going right back in the Instant Pot, right in the juice, and it's covered it because, remember, we brought the water level. I'm still chewing. Can you tell? My hands are greasy. The purpose of this soaking time is to rehydrate all the liquids that got pressured out with the Instant Pot because of the high pressure. Yes, it cooks it and it makes it incredibly tender. However, I'm still chewing. That's not how brisket should be. It should be very moist, juicy, and tender. Now, I'm not closing this up. I'm not going to be putting the pressure back on. It's on warm. Make sure you have yours on warm, otherwise you don't want the meat to spoil. So, technically, you can leave it there for 35 minutes. You could leave it in there for 2 hours if you did this in the afternoon until you're ready to eat tonight. Now, when you go to storage it, you're going to take whatever leftovers there are for what doesn't get eaten and put all the juice in a Tupperware or in some kind of a container, and you're going to put that in the refrigerator overnight, and then you're going to have the leftovers tomorrow. Now, you could do it the other way. You can cook it today, slice it, put it in there for 35 minutes, then put the whole thing. See, this whole pot, comes right out. You can just take this whole pot and put it right in the fridge. Put a cover on it of some type, either a plate upside down or something, or aluminum foil, and then the next day it's going to be the most delicious that you have ever tasted. You know what? I can taste the barbecue sauce in this. I think we got a winner. I think we got a winner. All right. I'll be back at 35 minutes. I'm still chewing. This is what I mean. They make the videos, they take it out, it falls apart when you cut it, and they go like, look how tender. It is amazingly, wonderfully tender. And I tried it, and it is tender, but you chew it forever and ever. But we have found the secret. I'll see you in 35 minutes. Okay, the time has come. This is it. It's been soaking. It's been soaking. Oh my gosh. They've actually plumped up. Woo! So when I tell you that it squeezes the juice out, let's get it over to the plate real quick. Okay. I got to take a picture of this and show you. I just got to take a picture of this and show you. All right, so this is just half a brisket. So the whole brisket would have twice as much meat coming out to here. But I cooked half of the brisket already. Let me see if I can tilt this towards the light. Okay, I cooked half of the brisket already, and that was version 1. And now this is version 2. So the difference is that version 1, we used beer and Lipton onion soup mix in the Instant Pot. And that's what seasoned the brisket. This time, I used a whole cup of my favorite barbecue sauce. So what's my favorite barbecue sauce? Let's put this down, and I'll show you my favorite barbecue sauce. Let's go back to that camera. Okay, that's the barbecue sauce that I used. Okay, this is fine. I don't need this. I just got to pick this up. I don't even need the fork. All right, so the real test here is the taste, number 1, and number 2, how long is it going to take for me to actually swallow this? Now, some of you guys can just swallow the meat whole. It's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about meat that actually falls apart. Okay. I can make that special romantic looking face. Oh, it's actually coming apart in my mouth. And yes, it's juicy. Okay, I want to show you the plate again into the light. Let's see how close I can get this up to the camera. Now that is brisket that's worth writing home about. That is absolutely beautiful. Yes, I'm turning the plate round and round. Okay, you can see the juice actually accumulating in the plate. Okay, so there we go. This is version 2 of the brisket. We seasoned it 2 different ways. So go watch version 1. I'll put a link in the description down below. And this is version 2. Peter Gregg, Miami, Florida. Please subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, the bell for the notifications, and send me a hello. Okay, bye. Did you know I recorded a Christmas album, a Christmas CD? And the name of the album is Christmas 2, and it's a great way to support the site and to get wonderful songs. You've got songs like, What Child Is This? Jingle bells.
Jingle bells, jingle bells,
Away in a manger.
away in a manger.
And a bonus song of the 12 days of Christmas, but it's done Peter Gregg style. So go in the description right now and click on petergregg.com and you'll see the album there. Click on it and you can order it and they're ready to be shipped out. I got a big box of them. It's ready to go. Do it now. The description. Thank you.